23,310, 23,110. So this is a significant sort of higher high. Beating the previous high, just like the exit polls have beaten market expectations by a wide margin. Where do we go from here is the question, right? So hovering around that 23,670 odd levels is where we are. The base has moved up, right? So you got to start to get used to 23,300 sort of rolling off your tongue. Adani stocks are flying off the shelf. Adani Enterprises is up 8%. Adani Ports is up 9%. Adani Power is up 14%. We were talking about names like the railway stocks, etc. RVNL is up 10%. Coal India is up 5%. So, I was saying this in the morning. It's basically focus on what is already doing well. And that momentum should continue at least. That will participate the maximum in this post-election pop. NBCC, Mazgaon Dock is up 5.5%, so that flavor of defense coming through as well. IRCTC, NCC, Indian Bank. It's a broad sort of swath of what is doing very, very well. Market breadth is exceedingly positive, and I think it's a very good-looking screen all in all that we have got going. Surabhi.
Prashant, they say, right, don't bet against the house. And if the house is going to continue, you do not bet against it. Look at the PSU move. The CPSE index is up 5.5%, flying away. The Nifty PSE index is up about 5%. The PSU banking index is up about 5%. There is absolutely no stopping the charge on these stocks, and that's really the big headline. So PSUs, along with Adani's, that's your first major headline coming in. Let me try and look beyond. Actually, it's hard to find anything else, but IRFC, PFC, REC, all these stocks. Power Grid is surging, big Nifty stock, and it's surging 8% as we speak. NHPC and the likes. Now, on the non-PSU side, JSW is looking very interesting, about 6-7% higher on this one. Some of the other names like Prestige Estates from the real estate pack. I'm really trying to find the non-PSU names, otherwise it's just an all-out PSU charge. There would be an IRB Infra, so obviously CapEx, construction, etc., infrastructure, 8.5% up on an IRB Infra. Angel One is up about 6% as we start off the day. So these are some of the key gainers on the non-PSU side, but otherwise, it's an out-and-out PSU roaring rally. Bank of Baroda, NHBC, a BEL, a Hindalco, you name it, it's completely out there. Just back to the... By the way, the market's cooled off a little bit from the absolute starting point. Back to the Nifty to see the non-PSUs there, and obviously banks are having a great session. 3.5% up on the Bank Nifty. The Bank Nifty is doing better than the Nifty right now. Axis Bank is the one that's looking good, 4.5% higher. ICICI Bank, 3.5% up as well. So those are the big names. M&M is having a good start. Remember, a lot of these auto stocks actually had very subdued numbers for the month gone by and a little lower than estimates. But today is not the day you react to monthly numbers. Today is big picture buying, and that's exactly what's showing up on the screen. Shriram Finance is looking interesting, 7% almost on Shriram Finance. That's one of the best performing non-bank financials today. Barring Aisha, every other Nifty stock, actually even Aisha, is sticking green right now. So almost 49 out of 50 stocks, or almost 50 on 50 stocks in positive territory. That's the kind of opening that we've had. 620 points higher, but Prashant, it is cooling off to a little bit, to some extent. Now 23,154. Remember, the previous all-time high was 23,110. So after the gap up, we're seeing the first small dip coming through. I think we have Nigel also with us, if I can toss to you. No, I don't think we have Nigel there, but that's the screen.
No, absolutely. And SBI, by the way, Surabhi, is the largest volume-led gainer right now, right? So that's interesting to see. So 870 or so in SBI. We were talking about financials, right? And a lot of the focus is on private financials, HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank, Axis, etc. But SBI is the largest largest bank. It is the largest bank. It's also the biggest gainer this morning coming through. So it's up on your screen, and look at the volume, 7 million shares now already coming through. I want to just sort of reiterate, the Adani Group stocks are all flying between 6 and 14% higher, depending on what you really look at this point in time. And of course, Surabhi mentioned a sort of whole long list of names which are doing very well. And they're also BEL, NHPC, RVNL, Power Grid, IRFC, PFC. PSUs. That's the number one area where there is this, big high beta move which is coming through. Hindalco, REC, Ircon. Actually, my list here of the top volume-led gainers is all populated by PSUs. I mean, about 85% of it is all PSUs as we begin this session. Oil marketing companies, HPCL, I'm not sure if Surabhi mentioned that, but HPCL is up 7%, and should not be alone. IOC and BP will also come up. And it should, I think, as a pack also be doing very well. BPCL is up about 4%. IOC is up about 4% as well. So, again, PSUs, but, different sectors, but within the broad umbrella of the PSU space, which is doing exceedingly well. Let's actually get some more opinion. And Ashwini Agarwal is founder and partner at Demeter Advisors. He's with us with some perspective. Ashwini, good to have you with us here. Thanks very much. 23,150. Around, I mean, the high was made about 23,350 or so. And there's been a bit of a cool-off, 200-point cool-off. That's understandable. But what's your sense, Ashwini, if these numbers hold, and as some are saying they even get better tomorrow when we get the actual results, do you think the base itself for the market moves a little higher? And we're talking 23,300 plus 23,500 over the next many weeks? What's the sense?
Morning, Prashant. The way I think about it is that I think the market is excited that there is policy continuity. And the policy continuity signals that India might continue to grow at a faster pace than some people might have estimated prior to the outcome of the elections. The market is also trying to digest the fourth quarter GDP numbers and the GST numbers. Both, I would say, were slightly ahead of expectations. And I think the administration's focus on driving growth through manufacturing, through job creation, creating an environment that supports investment, both into infrastructure, which might be taxpayer funded, as well as private infrastructure or private investment, which is...
So that's a big update about mega rally in the stock market post the exit poll numbers. Market is on record high in pre-open. The Indian stock market has opened up at an all-time high. We have CNBC TV 18's Mangalam Malu joining us on the broadcast as well. Mangalam, a very good morning to you. Tell us what trends can be expected in the coming few weeks looking at this record time high opening.
Well, it's a morning of records for the market itself. I mean, just to put some numbers into context, 23,000 for the Nifty for the first time, about 23,300. The Nifty Bank doing over 50,000. The MidCap index doing 53,000 as well. And you have the Sensex over 76,500. That's the resounding celebration that the market has done to the exit poll. And this is ahead of the actual result tomorrow itself. Three themes that are doing extremely well in the market today. And these are the three themes that, that have been there in the BJP manifesto as well. The first one are the public sector units. All the companies which are owned by the government, all of them have been big wealth creators over the last 2 years or so. And that policy continuity is likely to benefit, the street and these companies itself. And that's why we're seeing a big move on all those stocks. So be it the State Bank of India, HUDCO, or even, the defense names that we have, Hindustan Aeronautics, LIC, all of them doing extremely well. The second theme that is being doing well is the infrastructure theme. And that's, again, another focus area for the government. So we're seeing good gains come by in a lot of these infrastructure, road construction, toll stocks as well, the likes of IRB Infra, etc. And the third big theme that the street is hoping for in terms of a big benefit is the manufacturing and defense manufacturing theme. So companies of all the, shares of all the companies that are into manufacturing benefiting from the China Plus One theme, and all the defense stocks in the country are doing extremely well as well. These are themes which have been doing well for the last 1 year or so and likely to do a lot more as the street now factors in policy continuity, and not just policy continuity, a renewed focus towards all these factors. What has done well over the last 5 years is that the Nifty earnings has grown at around 15%, and here as well, the street believes that we will do a lot better. Importantly, even as the markets moved higher, the last 1 month or so, the foreign investors have sold the Indian market. So chances are them coming back once this event is over and there is certainty would take our markets even further higher. So over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're likely to see an up move in the market, and then there would be some nervousness ahead of the budget because, one, we've seen the up move, and perhaps the street will wait by for some more clarity on what Modi 3.0's first budget would be. So until then, it's all guns blazing for the Indian market. The important thing to watch out for in this time is also to keep an eye out on the global scenario as the globe readies for a lot of major elections around the world, and the US Fed as well, because the US interest rates are now at around 4.5%. So what is the commentary on the rate cuts out there would be another bearing on our markets. But today, it's all about the domestic cues, and for the next couple of weeks, that's likely to be so.
Definitely, a lot of changes are expected for the upcoming weeks. Mangalam, thank you so much for decoding it for all of our viewers. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates with regards to the market. As of now, it's time to slip into a very short commercial break here on CNN News 18. Stay with us. We'll come right back.